So I want to show you how when you have a love of money and you're not harboring feelings of like grossness or guilt or like anger, or resistance or resentment towards money because you think it's the money that's making you feel bad. So you don't look at your bank statements or you don't whatever, then you need to simply get back to love. Welcome to Sincerely Future You, a podcast for female entrepreneurs looking to scale their business by mastering their time, money, and drama. I'm your host, Jessica McKinley, founder of What's Happening Coaching, a life coaching program that helps ambitious women like you make decisions today with the future you in mind. Before we dive into this week's episode, I want to bring special attention, of course, to the Hapster of the Week, who is so inspiring. And this week, that is Carla. Carla Pettit holds a dear space in my heart because she was actually my very first life coaching client. And of course, she is still with me today. And the business that she has now, it's just so crazy to see all the progress. I have so many reasons why I could shout her out each week, but this week, she had such a major breakthrough. We always talk about with her the entrepreneur roller coaster and how we notice when we're feeling both positive and negative, how Carla notices how powerful her brain is. And I just have to shout her out for noticing, even when she was feeling negative, how that it was only her thoughts that were creating those feelings with her. So she was able to go from one week to the next just by looking at her thoughts and taking the session that we had and the notes and the thoughts that we pulled out of her and wrote down and got on paper, looking at them, deciding which ones she wanted to keep and which ones she wanted to throw out. She was able to actually create a plan for $1,500 more a month in her business just by changing a thought. So if you guys are listening to this over and over again and you're like, okay, I get it. Our thoughts create our feelings. But if that's true, like, why am I not just thinking I want to be rich and then creating this result? Well, it is a process. And Carla knows after doing 3 years of coaching that your growth is exponential the quicker and you come into awareness on your thoughts. And that this is a process that really never ends because you never have the ability to hold a mirror up and really see your thoughts in the same way that you can in coaching. So I wanted to shout out Carla for being able to self-coach in a way that only a true expert can, like she does, and also to bring it right back to the basics when she tends to get overwhelmed and think, I should be further along than this. I shouldn't be having these thoughts anymore. That's not how it works, guys. You're always, even as a life coach myself, the experience, as I said, is 50% positive and 50% negative. That will never change. So embrace your humanity like Carla, take a note and figure out a plan for you to make another 1,500 in your month this month. Shout out to you, Carla. So let's dive into the topic today, which is the path to loving money. In happening sessions this month, we are talking about how your thoughts create your money. It's kind of sold to you all over in the business coaching space that there's this process that will create you lots of money. And there's this action plan that if you just understand this action plan and Facebook ads, you will create all this money. And the truth is that there are a lot of different actions that can create the same amount of money. There's no one right way to create the money. We experiment all the ways, but you can never out action a bad thought. And so your thoughts really need to be clean to create lots of money. And all of your actions that you take to create money are based in feelings. Like you would not be able to show up and post every day on social media if you feel like apathetic. Like if your thought is nobody cares what I have to say and your feeling is like, meh, like you're not going to be able to consistently show up. You can't out action that bad thought. So I want to show you how when you have a love of money and you're not harboring feelings of like grossness or guilt or like anger, resistance or resentment towards money money because you think it's the money that's making you feel bad, so you don't look at your bank statements or you don't whatever, then you need to simply get back to love. And we're going to talk about that and like the love of anything. So let's put it into the model for a second. The love of anything goes into the F line of the model, right? The feelings part. And those feelings are driving the actions, right? And the feelings are created by your thoughts. So love of money comes from the way that we think about it, not from how much we have in our bank accounts right now. I repeat, the result of how much you earn or spend or save or invest or have or give will not make you love it. You have to choose to love it now. So why wouldn't you choose to love it is my question, right? I think it's because you have this thought that it's inherently bad. But the truth is that I stole this one concept from a podcast episode you should go and listen to by Brooke Castillo on the Life Coach School podcast. She talks about villain compassion. And this episode changed my life because I've always kind of shown up in this way and tried to play with it. Like, can we think that something or someone is bad and still love them? We can like recognize all of their flaws and then just love them for their flawed self, especially human beings, right? Because we're all flawed. We can see our own flaws, and that helps me love other people when they're being flawed. But when it comes to money, it's really neutral. You guys, it's just a thing. And we have so many emotions that are created by our thoughts that we're choosing to think about it. So I would recommend that you choose to think loving thoughts about money if you want to create results of more of it, or if you want to just feel more amazing when you're engaging with your money, no matter how much of it you have. Love feels amazing in your body. It's not like money is like, oh shit, like Jessica doesn't like me, so like I'm really upset. Like you can't like get back at money by like not loving it, right? So you're just poisoning your own body with these like resistance or whatever your emotion towards money is right now. And money is simply neutral, as I mentioned. So you want to get back to love for you. Okay. That's the baseline. What we're learning this month is how to approach money in a balanced way that feels both fun, abundant, and freeing before, during, and after you engage with money. I keep saying engage with money, and we've talked about this on the podcast. I think the 6 ways to master money. So some episode like that. It was only a couple episodes ago, but I'm going to review them. It is earning, saving, spending, investing, having, and giving. That's how I categorize the ways that we engage with money. And I think that for me, I feel differently when I'm engaging in each of these 6 ways. And so my goal, and the goal that I would love to offer all of you guys, is to feel loving no matter which of the 6 ways you're engaging with money. Some of us feel really confident when it comes to earning, but saving, we feel like a hot mess. Or some of us feel really great about the way that we give, but investing, we're like, what? No, not me. I don't know. Too above, right? So I encourage you to look at all 6 ways and kind of like do yourself a little assessment. We have all of the assessments. If you are a current client, I encourage you to do the worksheet if you haven't yet done it on your financial bucket list, so you can rate yourself in each of the categories so that you can kind of see where you land and we can know where to start coaching and where your thoughts need some work. I want you to find your biggest areas for growth. And then if you're a client, bring them to coaching. And if you're not a client, become a client and then bring them to coaching. Like, what are you doing? But the point is that money can't bring you anxiety. And some people will tell me like, oh, I don't know that. And looking at it gives me anxiety. No, looking at it triggers your current thinking. And whether you're looking at it or not, those thoughts subconsciously are running the way that you are showing up and engaging with money. So I just want that to be said so that you can go ahead and reassess and say like, okay, am I avoiding money because I think that it's making me feel a certain way? Instead of looking at money, the neutral thing that it is, seeing what thoughts come up for you and then saying, okay, how is this not true or not useful? Right? Sometimes it's like true, or I'm like, okay, like I am my money is not organized. That might be true, but it's not helpful at all. It's also true that you have a desire to be more organized. Equal parts of thought, right? And so we can focus on which one is going to help us move towards it instead of away from it. And when you look at all of the facts about your relationship with money, it will likely bring up your thoughts about it. It's okay. Like, leave room and have compassion for wherever you're at when you're coming to money. And then we'll coach on them and we'll clean them up and we'll bring you right back to love. That's what coaching is for. But at the end of the day, the path to loving money is looking at your thoughts about it. Like, which step one is to look at the money or like engage with the money, because that will be the first way to show you what your thoughts are about it. And that then what you'll say is like, how do I feel right now? And if you feel anything but love, it means there's work to be done. Nothing's wrong. Okay. So this really was an episode for you to just take a deep breath and take a good look at yourself and the way you feel when I say the word earning, or the way you feel when I say the word having money, right? And then if it's nothing but love, look at the thoughts, write all those thoughts down and see how you can bring that thought to a place that really makes you feel love in your body for money. Some of you guys, you have like miles and miles and miles to go with work on loving money. I love money right now. It's like when people say that, like, I love money, but I also love the feeding the homeless. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? You can love both. You can love your family and also love money, right? You can love yourself, and the people do the same thing there. You can love yourself and you can love other people. Like, I think I'm amazing, but I also think everybody else is amazing too. That's why it's not arrogance. It's just matter of factness. It's just awesomeness. Okay, so that was a little bit of a tangent at the end here, but follow the path to loving money, which leads you straight to coaching, obviously, where you just need to figure out wherever you're at, love yourself where you're at, and then do a little bit of work to get you all the way to loving money. Have a great weekend, guys. Hey, Hapsters. If you want to learn more about today's topic, head over to what'shappening.com/podcast. That's what's happening, what'shappening.com/podcast. If you're a business owner and you're resonating with what we talk about here, what are you even doing? Come hang out with me over where the party's at on Instagram at What's Happening WJess. Again, that's happy, HAPPYNING, and book a discovery call to see if coaching is your next best step.